Hello friends and enemies, it's me Isabel here, excited to talk to you about Kindle Unlimited. So if you're new, you may not know this, I don't know if you've stumbled upon it, but if you're not, you know I'm doing Read What You Own this year, and well, for the first 3 months, and I've decided to continue it, but I've got to admit, Kindle Unlimited has been my sticking point and my struggle point because I'm still not doing a good job at reading the older books on my KU TBR. And I was like, I haven't done a KU check-in in ages. I did these last year and I'm going to continue doing them throughout the year this year, but I have my checkouts maxed. Let's just share the shame that I have my checkouts maxed on KU right now still. But I will be reading some of these soon. So there's that, because sometimes I do check things out because I need them for a project or a thing, and I just, you know, have to do it. And I looked at it the other day and I realized I had maxed them. Let's dive right into talking about all the books I currently have checked out. And I have to say, like I talked about this in the vlog, I'm in a hockey mood and I am going to blame that on some of what I have checked out right now and why I ended up maxing out. I was down to like 17 books and I was just like, I gotta get these. I have to. So let's talk about it. First, we have Taken to Varaxia by Elizabeth Stevens. This is an alien romance I'm seeing on TikTok a lot, and a couple readers and reviewers that I really trust and like generally like the similar books to have loved it. It's an alien romance, forced proximity. It kind of just sounds like a fun one. It has a lot of tropes happening in it, of course, and I've been looking for a new alien series that isn't like just Ice Planet repeated or like certain authors that I see a lot. I've been looking for some newer authors to read in the alien romance space, so I got this checked out. I'm really excited to dive into it, probably sooner than later, and if I don't read it soon, I'm gonna make my bestie read it because she is the alien romance queen of my heart because she loves Ice Planet and all those things. So either way, I'm gonna read it or someone's gonna tell me I need to read it if I don't soon. Next, I have Brutal Obsession checked out. I don't have the author written down. This is a ballet dancer and a hockey player bully romance, and again, I'm in this hockey mood. I'm wanting like kind of darker books right now, and this just sounded interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna love it or hate it, to be honest with you. I don't even know if I'm gonna read like 5% and DNF it, but it's one that I kept seeing and I thought, we'll try. I also have One Pucked Up Pack by Sarah Blue checked out. This is one of like 2 Omegaverse hockey romances coming out, and I really want to dive into Omegaverse again this year. I did a vlog a few years ago, I don't even remember when, where I read a bunch of Omegaverse for the first time, and I really like Omegaverse stuff, and I like the nodding and the nesting and all that stuff, like the connection part of it. So I want to read more, and obviously May sent me this because she's like, hockey books, Omegaverse, it's you need to read it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna read this. So yeah, I plan on picking this up sooner than later, probably in the next month or so. I am really curious about it at the very least. Then I have Shimmy Bang Sparkle. This is one that I got wrecked on my Twitter thread where I asked for criminals in love kind of wrecks. This is a Kindle Unlimited book with audio included, so I will be listening to it very soon. Like, it will probably be in the next regular weekly reading vlog, honestly. I picked this up immediately when I saw it included the audio because how can I turn down a KU book with audio? This is about a guy who doesn't want to get caught stealing again, and a girl who he sees lifting a 2-carat diamond. So, you know, I'm just here for it. They're kind of putting everything on the line for one last job. Two Thieves in Love. Can't wait. It's everything I want. Then I have Skeletons of Society. So last month I read Syndicate of Sin by the same author, and it's book 2 in the series, but you can read it as a standalone, which is a wide shoes dark mafia romance. Content warning for like child abuse, sex trafficking, alcohol, like so much. My review on Goodreads has all of them. I honestly cannot remember them all right now, but I loved it. Murder, gore, violence, all the things. So I knew immediately, because we meet the character that's in book 1 and book 2 as well. Like they show up in book 2. So I knew I needed to go back and read Skeletons of Society, and I'm really excited to pick this up. Our heroine is like poising to take over a group in like Arizona, I think, or New Mexico, somewhere like that. I think it was Arizona. I can't remember. Somewhere like that. Somewhere in the southwest of the country. So I'm really excited for this. It's also, again, a dark romance. This one follows a girl, like I said, she's trying to take over the family's like business stuff. And I think the guy she ends up falling in love with was an undercover cop or FBI or something. So yeah, I'm just really curious to see how that plays out. Next, we have Quiver and Quill. So for Quiver and Quill, for Tenebra City, whatever. I read Grinch and Guile for my Grinch video in December. So Quiver and Quill is book 1. So this is second person POV, aka it's like you're reading insert name fanfic, which is kind of weird. I'm not going to deny that, like it takes some adjusting, but I quite enjoyed Grinch and Guile, so I do want to pick this up and read it sooner than later. And this follows an ambitious grad student getting their master's degree, and then a half moth, half fae professor, and you have a fling. It sounds like / takes interest in you. So yeah, I'm just curious about it. I would like to read it. I do enjoy a Mothman-y hero, and the mix here sounds interesting to me. So I will probably give it a go. We'll see if I finish it or not. Then I Married Anaga, which has been checked out for freaking ever, and I have started it, and I need to go back to it. I think I've read like 5% of this one. I started it, and then I had some projects come up, which you've seen, and I've just yet to like circle back around and finish it. So I need to sit down one night and honestly just finish this book. I am really excited for it, but also nervous because like snakes just aren't my thing. And the Basilisk book by Lillian Lark I liked, but this one's just not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I think. Then I also have Sinful Vow checked out. This is a Black Mafia book, and I'm really excited about this, and I read like the first couple pages and confirmed with myself that I do want to read it. So it's one that's like high on my list right now while I'm in this mood I'm in. And then we have Demon's Dream, which is a 700 page like dark mafia-esque romance of some sort. Listen, I saw this rec, I think it was Shades and Pages. She talked about it, and Heather also read it from Hia Booktubes, and there's very few people who convinced me to read a 700 page book, but those are probably the 2 people that could convince me. And then every other snip and quote I've seen from this book, I've been like, I need this in my life. So I know this is like she's kidnapped to like make up for her brother's crimes or something. I've kind of left it like to just be a surprise besides, like I said, the few little bits I've seen, because I was just like, this sounds really interesting. I just knew there was a quote I saw and I was like, I have to read this. So here we are. Then we have The Orc from The Office. This is book 2 after Live, Laugh, Lich, which I really enjoyed and thought was very fun. And I want to read this. I mean, this cover is hilarious to me. I think this is just a very funny cover. But yeah, I would like to pick this up. I've not read a ton of orc romances. I read a few CM Nacosta ones. Though orcs were one of the first romances I read, I'm just not a big orc reader personally. We also have Puck Me Secretly on my list, where their plane crashes and she admits to the guy that she's like never had an orgasm with another person. So this whole thing happens. She ends up at his working at the same hockey place he works at. Like he's a hockey player. Yeah, I love the punny titles for hockey romances, and I just think this one sounds like an absolute blast. So we have Carnage. This is a wide shoes, I think also dark romance. I'm not sure if it's mafia or mob or not. This is another one I saw a couple quotes for, seen some like trope reels on it, and I've been like, this sounds interesting. I like that they're kind of like Four Horsemen-y sounding books, and I'm excited to see what I think. I also have Coldhearted checked out, which I've had checked out for a while now, and this is a paranormal romance series that I've seen a lot of good things about, and I need to dive in as soon as like the urge for paranormal hits again. I feel like this is gonna be the first book I pick up, so we'll see. My next, probably most random thing I have checked out, I hope y'all are ready for this. All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling. So this is a request from This Past Romances May's mom. She wants me to read this and to tell her all about it. So I just have it checked out sitting here, and one day I'm just gonna pick it up and we're gonna go on a 180-page adventure about a potato shifter. That's what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm gonna read this weird potato shifter book at some point. Don't worry, I will put it in the title when I do of that vlog. Like I will be like, I read the potato shifter, because what? Anyways, let's talk about the next one, which is Strife's Apple. This is one by an author I was made aware of because of Morgan over at Lovely Reading. She loves these books in this series. She read the arc of it and was like raving about it in my members Discord. So this one is getting read soon. It's on the poll for the members picks for the next 3 months of like what we're gonna read. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and check this out, because even if it doesn't win, I'm reading this. And this is just another Greek god myth retelling situation. Our author has posted some great quotes for book 2 in the series on TikTok and elsewhere. So I'm excited. I want to read this, so I just was like, I'm immediately going to check it out. Then I have Lords and the Mafia. So I read the first book, which is like they're like companion books, right? We meet Lords in Queenie and the Krakens. So I have had this checked out for a while. Again, in my Mafia mood, I feel like I need to pick this up sooner than later. So I will probably read it soon. This is another wide shoes Mafia romance. And I'm digging a Why Choose Mafia, and I don't know why, but we're here and we're gonna embrace it. Then I have Her Revenge, which is the sequel to the best book I read when I did my reading like Marvel inspired romances. This one I really liked, book one. It's kind of sci-fi-ish, also a Why Choose, and honestly was a blast, and I don't know why I haven't picked up book two, but I'm glad I waited because I realized book three's out, so I can actually just read all of them. So that'll be nice. Then we have Envy, which is book one in the 7 Deadly Sins / book two. When I pull it up on Amazon, what is going on? Okay, yeah, so it's book two, I guess. I'm confused. Anyways, I picked this up because I am a sucker for like the like 7 Deadly Sins type of things, or anything that's like the Horsemen, like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, like those sort of themes, like I really enjoy in books. So I think it's really fun. So I have Envy checked out, which I may swap for Sinner. I'm not sure. These are heroic heroes and strong heroines. They're genetically modified, the heroes, it sounds like. And yeah, I don't know. It just sounds interesting. Staff over at Novelty Corner recommended them, and I was like, I have space on my KU. What should I check out before Read What You Own? So I checked it out. Listen, you can convince me to read a lot of things. It's fine. But yeah, I would like to pick that series up sooner than later. It sounds really fun. And then I also have Criminal Intentions by Cole McCade checked out. So I want to read this whole series this year, I think. Book one is on my like 23 and 23 list. Which I don't think I've publicly shared that anywhere, but I do have like a 23 and 23 list that I'm using for myself. So I would like to pick this up this year, and I'm really excited for it. This is like a romantic suspense series. There are like 29 books in it. A lot of them are on Hoopla and Scribd though, so I think I will probably just kind of slowly start listening to one a week or so, give or take, as I can, and then I'll just slowly get caught up if I like them. But yeah, I've liked other things by Cole McCade a lot, so I really want to dive into more of their books. I kind of would like to have read this series. I feel like it's a really popular series, obviously. We're 29 books in, so I'm just really excited to dive in. I don't know a ton beyond it being like some kind of romantic suspense. And then last, I have Honey Trap by Aster Glenn Gray. So I've read one other book by Aster Glenn Gray, and I really liked it. So this one is set during the Cold War, and we have a Soviet agent who's working with an American FBI agent, and he wants him to honey trap his new American partner. We'll see. It just sounds really fun. I've heard nothing but good things about this one, so I'm excited. And like I said, I really liked Briarly. It was a really fun twist on a Beauty and the Beast book, if you're looking for that. And I realized I left off like half of the authors, but there's pictures. I apologize. My notes are not together today. It's fine. We're here. We're doing this. It's happening. All right. And these are the last 11 books I've read off of KU since January of this year. So we're going to go through them pretty quickly here. But again, this is also why I don't feel terrible that my KU is full again, because I have read a lot off of KU. So like wins. There's wins. First up, and these are going to be in no particular order, I just kind of wrote them down. So we have Chick Magnet by Emma Barry, which is our chicken influencer and veterinarian romance. He doesn't like her because he thinks she's making people irresponsibly get chickens, and they're neighbors. This is just really, really cute. I really loved Emma Barry's writing here. I think this is a solid romance to come out with like quirky jobs and just a little bit weird. It does include the audio with KU because it is a like published book, so that's really nice. And that was part of why I picked it up so quickly. I did have an arc of it, but I checked it out from KU to read the, to use the audio. So I enjoyed this. If you're looking for just a really fun, small town, quirky romance, this is it. Next, we have Entranced by the Basilisk by Lillian Lark. I did get an arc of this, and I also checked it out from KU to like move any highlights over. So I'm going to count it. So this is a really fun Why Choose monster romance as well. We have a throuple, or not Why Choose, this is a throuple monster romance where the men turn into basilisks, and she accidentally becomes a Medusa by opening a package. She works at the like magical library and opens a thing that has a spell on it, and it like bestows her with this power. And it's about them figuring out how to like cure her of this, and or if she's going to keep it, and then falling in love. It's really cute. It's really sweet. I loved this one. I think this is a great continuation in the Monstrous Matches series. Then I read all 3 of the Dreamland Billionaires series, which I'm just going to lump together. I did a whole reading vlog on them. I'm not going to dive too deep. But these all 3 follow brothers who are billionaires and heirs to the like a Disney equivalent of company and their romances. I really enjoyed all of these. I was very surprised at how much I liked them because I don't dislike a billionaire romance always. But these definitely just felt like something I wasn't sure if I would love. To the point at which I kind of want to order myself the UK copies because I prefer how they look to the US reprints with Bloom. So there's that. I really like them, and I'm honestly debating a Amazon UK order just to get the covers I want. because that's how much I liked it. Then I did read Muscles and Monsters. This was a member's pick. I think this was January's pick. So this I finally read and I enjoyed this. This follows a cute little chubby baker girl and our wolf hero. I do think this one bordered a little bit on furry territory for me, like just a little bit too close. I still enjoyed it and had fun and found them to be really cute. There is some weird body shaming around the ex in this that I didn't love, and like kind of just the shitty ex-girlfriend trope I don't always love. So there's that. But otherwise it was really cute, kind of fitness-based without feeling too like diet culture-y, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's about the wolf who runs a gym and she has a bakery, and it was a fun time. I read Real by Kennedy Ryan. This is one that I read for Chapter 3 podcast, so obviously that'll be there. If you want to go watch it, I'll link it down below as well for you. But Bethany and I read this for February and I loved Real. It made me cry. I found this book emotionally engaging and heart-wrenching all at the same time. I think this was a great example of like how relationships can grow and evolve and how we can care for one another in a relationship and all those fun things. So just, if you haven't picked it up, I highly recommend picking up Real. I think you will not be disappointed by it. I also read Cupid's Peak by Lee Jacquot, which catches me up on her Holly Nights novella series. She writes novellas around different holidays. They're really smutty, they're really short and quick, and they're delightful. This one has a exhibitionism kink in it, and honestly was an absolute blast. This one partially also kicked off the hockey thing, because our hero in this is a hockey player, though it doesn't really play into it too much. They were high school friends who never got a chance with each other, and her twin sister, I don't remember if it was twin or not, sets her up on a blind date with him, not knowing, like she doesn't know. And then they just have a wonderful night, and I imagine just a wonderful happy ever after. Then I also read Sugar Sugar by Lady Marie. This is another Valentine's Day themed one. And this was really good, really short and smutty as well. Very sexy book. Also featured exhibitionism. And this follows a girl who's a sugar baby and her sugar daddy on this date where they decide to finally take it to be more than just them having time together. Like there was nothing sexual before, and turning into a real relationship with more than just the sugaring part. But yeah, it was really good. Then I read A Soul to Keep by Opal Rain, one of my new favorites. It is in my Amazon cart right now. I am buying it for myself. I want to highlight it and mark it up. This is a wonderful monster romance that follows a girl who is sacrificed to the monster. They sacrifice someone to the monster every 10 years, and she is that sacrifice. So in doing so, she has to go with him, and he kind of hasn't fully gained his whole humanity yet. And I feel like this book, it's in some ways like investigates what it is to be human, kind of, and like compassionate and care about others. So we follow her journey with our monster Orpheus. It's Ray and Orpheus. So we follow their journey of like figuring it out together. A lot of world building happens and discovery. I really loved this. It was amazing. It is one of my favorite books of the year, guaranteed. So yeah. Then I did read Unhinged by Onley James finally. I feel like this is a very popular book in the bookish spaces. This was my member's pick for February, and I really liked it. I was very surprised at how much I liked this book. I think it was really fun to read. I think for being such dark themes, it had a very light and fluffy romance, which was a weird juxtaposition to itself. They kind of border on romantic suspense, but also insta-lovey and very just fun. They're very fun books, but they do have a lot of content warnings like trafficking, sexual abuse, assaults, like violence, still a lot happens. But again, the romance is like so soft and sweet that it's one of those weird, like, it's just weird to see it play out together. But yeah, I really liked this. I'm excited to continue this series. Then I also read Six Deaths of the Saint by Alex E. Haro. This was I saw it going around on Book Talk a lot, and I was like, oh, I want to try this. I usually enjoy the Amazon original shorts for the most part. And this one, for the most part, my friends had liked as well. So I did listen to it. I gave it 4 stars. I liked this. I don't want to tell you too much. It's like 30 pages. And a lot happens, and it's one that I could see myself revisiting because so much happens. It's really interesting to, I think, like reread that story. And then last but not least is Syndicate of Sin. This is one that I feel like I've talked about extensively. We talked about it in the things on my TBR because I have book 1. But this is the Why Choose Mafia romance that I fell in love with last month. It is also in my cart to get for myself. I kind of have like five books right now that I'm going to be buying myself soon. As soon as Read What You Own is over, I will allow myself to purchase my favorites from the last 3 months. So they're going to go back here on the shelf and actually face the right way because I've already read them, which is exciting. But yeah, I loved Syndicate of Sin. This hit that scratch that I had so perfectly, and I just can't get over it. So we do follow our heroine, Scar, who is kind of been hidden from the world and the family, but she also has a secret identity where she's basically an assassin, like a badass assassin that people know about. And she ends up marrying Caleb, who is the son of the Irish mob's son. Like, his dad is the head of the mob for the Irish. And in that, him and his friends have all broken off from their family's connections. So we had Yakuza, Bratva, and Irish mob. They've broken off. And her and Caleb get married, and her and all of the boys hook up together, hence the white shoes. They also play with each other a little bit. Well, Kenji and mostly plays with the others some. But yeah, it's really hot, really spicy, like very hot book. I really, really liked this, and I'm really excited for more in this world. So I've got to get to the first book sooner than later. But yeah, I just really enjoyed how she wrote her heroine here and how our heroes were written and how it all interplayed. Like, it had the right mix for me. So that is everything for my KU check-in. I'm going to do one of these again, probably in May, because I don't know if I'll read enough in April to do one again, like between now and then, but I'm going to try for every other month-ish for these, so I'm not having to like go through as much. But if I haven't read anything by like the next one, my checkouts are getting cleared. Like, anything that has been lingering and I haven't touched is gone, and we're starting fresh. So there's that. But let me know in the comments the last KU book you read and loved. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave me a hamburger emoji. We'll do hamburger. Why not? Leave me a hamburger emoji or fries in the comments. And I will be back to talk to y'all in just a few days in my next video. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away.